stopping it. All they have to do is agree to let's go, and we're ready. And we voted for it many times.
CrossroadsIRL.com.
The Democrats, true to form, don't let a good crisis go to waste. I mean, that's their motto. They've, again, lined up behind the camera to say, look, Donald Trump is refusing to release funds. Now, when I heard it yesterday, I think someone on one of the videos that we looked at yesterday said that. And I was like, why are they saying this? Is there money that President Trump has, which was earmarked for SNAP benefits, that they are holding back? Only for me to find out that they're, once again, lying about the reality. So let's listen to them talk, and maybe I can tell you what I've come to find out over the last 24 hours.
They clearly knew that this could happen, and they actually had on their website, and I know many of you have seen this, a plan that was not issued under the Biden administration. It was issued under the Trump administration, and we screenshot it, so we have it. No one denied that it was out there. It's now magically disappeared like the East Wing. And it says this. It says, the receipts were these. This plan said, congressional intent is evident. Congressional intent that SNAP's operations should continue during a shutdown, and multi-year contingency funds are also available to fund participant benefits in the event that a lapse occurs. So there it is. We would call that a smoking gun in my old job as a prosecutor. They had it on their own website. They took it down at the administration's direction.
Okay, so let me talk about that. Having a statement on a website is one thing. Feigning ignorance of the existence of these contingency funds is a different thing. Let's remember that we are in hurricane season. This is when these emergency funds actually matter, when there are emergencies, and we did see the effect of Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica, and it's heading towards the southern parts of the United States. And I'm not sure if it's made landfall. I haven't seen anything on my feed concerning that, but it's hurricane season. Are the Democrats asking the president to dip into hurricane season funding? I'm just asking. Let me know in the chat, because it kind of sounds like that's what they're doing. If they have receipts of contingency funds, because Congress handles budgeting, handles the release of funds and spending, and they could demand, okay, hey, how much has been released so far? They could do the math to say, this is all the money that we know has been spent on SNAP benefits. How come you're saying that it's going to run out by this time in November? Those are the kinds of conversations that a rational opposition should be having. But everything is sensational. Everything is all about painting the party in office as being mean and evil. We want to have rational conversations. Where are the receipts? You're a member of Congress. You should have these things. Again, a press conference to try to make President Trump and the Republicans look bad and evil.
So they have the money there, or they can fund it through legislation. So let's just make that clear. Then let's go to the second question.
Hold on a minute. Legislation, and who is involved in legislation? There have been several calls for votes to be made in order to make funding available for SNAP benefits and EBT and so on. But Democrats have shut it down repeatedly. How come? It is these things that kind of frustrate me. I'm like, what on earth are you guys doing? And see how she said it and quickly moved on to the next topic. And mainstream media over there may not catch it, and they may have the talking points that they are allowed to ask about. She just said legislation. Am I cherry picking? I don't think I am. Because whenever these people say anything, you need to follow their words carefully. He could fund it through legislation. They've been asking for you guys to sign something to release more funds. You guys have refused to vote on those funding bills. So I mean, it's more deception and misdirection coming from the Democrat Party. Heartbreakingly so, because you're looking at, again, millions of American families who need these benefits. They are simply playing politics. And I think the Republicans too, we're going to listen to what President Trump has to say about this. And then we're going to fact check the statement she just made. All right. She says that the White House has a contingency fund. Right. Let's fact check it while I'm at it, because sometimes I say I'm going to do something and then I don't do it. So I would like to do the fact check. Okay. So let's see. We're going to move over. All right. So let's do it with Grok. All right. So does Democrats claim the contingency funds for SNAP and EBT that could last years. Is this true? True. If yes, does the Trump admin have the right to pull from these funds without congressional approval? All right, so we're going to just do fact check. Look, I don't live in the United States. I'm not a politician. I like to fact check things because, to be honest, Democrats have essentially told me, I don't know about you, but told me that whenever they say something, do not believe them. So according to ChatGPT, the answers are coming in. Okay. Yes, there are contingency funds for SNAP, but Democrats claim they could last years is a significant exaggeration. They would cover only about 2/3 of 1 month's benefits, roughly November 2025, not years of funding. I mean, are you listening to you're seeing the lies like I am? So why are they saying that the SNAP benefits would end on November 1st? I don't know. Maybe I'll ask the question to confirm what's going on with the Republican Party too. We need to look at both sides and figure out who's lying to us, okay? I'm a conservative. I like Trump's approach to governing and his policies. But if there's something going on that we should know about, we should know about it and say, look, hold on there. Why is the Republican Party doing this? All right, so I'm showing you how to fact check the news for yourself. Okay, think for yourself. Don't let the mainstream media or an influencer tell you how to think. All right, I'm not an influencer. Okay, I'm just a guy doing YouTube videos in his spare bedroom. So I'm only saying this is what is going on. This is how to fact check these things. So let's go the data. All right. So the key facts of the funds, we have all of that. Can the Trump administration access these without congressional approval? It is hotly disputed. A legal battle is underway with over 25 Democratic-led states suing the USDA or Trump admin for refusing to release the funds, calling it illegal. Now, here's both sides of the conversation. All right. Now, don't forget that you can send in your comments in the chat. Let me know what you think about this segment. We're looking at the SNAP benefits and how Democrats are accusing the Republicans. Hey, Canarican, how are you? We're looking at how the House Democrats are accusing the Republicans of withholding so-called years worth of contingency funds for the SNAP benefits. The fact check has just shown us that that's not true. The contingency funds would only last for a part of November. Now, I asked the question, is congressional approval required to use these funds? And then here's the answer. Now, the Trump administration's view is that the funds are not legally available for routine FY. I don't know what FY is. What's FY? Let me know in the chat. 2026 benefits during lapsed appropriations shutdown. Okay, so that it's meant only for specific triggers, which is high state error rates or unemployment. Would still leave 3 to 4 billion shortfall for a full month. Congress must appropriate. So the Trump administration cannot willy-nilly decide to jump into the contingency funds and begin to distribute it. The same Democrats who are accusing the Republicans of withholding those contingency funds will be the first to say that they are going to investigate the Trump administration for touching those funds. It's a shell game with these guys, both parties, Republicans and Democrats. So we have to watch both of them carefully and call them out whenever they tend to misbehave. And sadly, the Democrat Party seems to be the party that misbehaves the most. They're the ones who go out there and lie the most. We just caught them out on a lie. They claimed that these contingency funds would last years. Now we found out that they would only last for a few months. So from the Democrat perspective, they claim that yes, the law, according to 7 U.S.C. 2026, I don't know what that is, allows use for regular benefits in like crises like shutdowns. Precedent: Trump USDA used it in 2019 shutdown for January benefits. CBPP available now. Admin is weaponizing hunger for leverage. Okay, I don't know what that is. I think that's a heading. So the argument of the Democrat Party is they did it before. What are the details of that? I don't know, and I don't think we have the time to dig into that. But let me know your thoughts, because we have this situation with the SNAP benefits being politicized by both parties. One party shut down the government, refuses to reopen it after over 12 votes in Congress to reopen the government. The other party is screaming, SNAP benefits are running out. Let's vote to fund these things Democrats said no. And then as the funds are running out, they've switched their game plan to say the Republicans have the money that will last years and they don't want to use it. I started out saying I don't believe them, because if they had the accounting, they would tell us the numbers. They didn't tell us the numbers, so we fact checked. And here we have all of the details coming up in the fact check. So the USDA memo October 2025 explicitly refuses deleted contingency plan from the website. That is a claim by by Representative Don Bayer. Okay, so they claim that it was deleted from the website. Speaker Johnson says there's a finite source. That means they don't have infinite resources, and it is not legally available. This is coming from the Speaker of the House. The Democrats push a bill to force release. That means they want their $1 trillion to be released in order to go ahead and cooperate with the GOP. And they blame GOP for earlier $186 billion SNAP cuts, because there are people on the SNAP benefits who should not be receiving them. So the bottom line, the funds exist. It won't last for years. Trump admin claims no unilateral right, sticking to the letter of the law for leverage. Again, like I said, is political. But opponents have strong legal precedents or cases likely to decide. The court is likely to decide soon. Shutdown ends if Congress passes funding. GOP wants a clean. Democrats want 1.3, I think, trillion dollars, and 42 million Americans hang in the balance. Now, this number 42 million is misleading. Let's fact check this number. How many of the 42 million, okay, are American citizens? Okay, so this is all politics. Okay, so the breakdown: U.S. born citizens account for 89%. This is coming from which year? This is coming from Al Jazeera and two more sources. Non-citizens account for 10%, 4 million. Okay. All right. SNAP eligibility requires proof of citizenship or qualified immigrant status, and participation rates among eligible non-citizens are lower than for citizens. Okay. All right. So we've covered that. What do you think is going on? Well, I've told you what I think is going on, but let me know your thoughts in the chat or in the comment section. So let's keep listening to the Democrat Party. Within the first minute of their speech, they already lied. It is amazing that these guys break records every single time. Within the first minute, they already lied. And we spent the last few minutes debunking the lie that they told within the first few minutes in an 11-minute video. It's exhausting when you have these experiences where you're trying to give the Democrats the benefit of the doubt, and they continue to tell you, no, we don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. So let's listen a little bit more. We may not be able to cover the entire thing because we're going to listen to President Trump respond. Let's have both sides. They say one thing, President Trump responds, then Speaker Johnson also has his own thoughts. But let's have a listen.
Doing this now. Guess we could ask the same question. Why did Trump pardon George Santos when a lot of people in the Republican...
What does that have to do with SNAP benefits? What does that have to do with releasing funds for civil service workers to get paid? It has nothing to do with that. Every opportunity they have is just to attack President Trump and not serve. It doesn't serve the American people, in my opinion. American citizens who are watching, let me know how this serves you. Does it serve you in that it provides you with security? It provides you with the necessities that you need to have a fulfilled life in the United States? Does it provide your children with potential of owning their own homes, getting jobs, and so on? How does that help you as an American citizen? Accusing President Trump of potentially breaking a law by executing his presidential powers to pardon someone.
Never would have wanted that to happen. Why did he suddenly ask for $230 million from the Justice Department? Why did he say he was going to run a third term and then back down? Steve Bannon put it out there. Why are all these things happening?
It's called trolling.
News every single day. Well, they think they can fool the American people. They're seeing their premium increases now. No matter how many things they throw out there, no matter how many families they threaten to starve.
Okay, the point is, most of what you're describing is the aftershock of the Biden years. A president entering the White House doesn't magically change financial realities overnight. It does not. It prepares the environment for what is coming, the financial boom that is coming. And believe me, there is a financial boom coming. And when it lands, the Democrats would want to take credit for it. They'll say this was a Biden boom. Just like when the hostages were released, they ran to the mics to say this was President Trump executing Joe Biden's plan to get the hostages out. That's what they do. During his first term, Obama claimed that the economic boom that was happening under Trump's administration was his economic boom. So when we watch what's going on with the Democrats and the Republicans, what should our reaction be? Should it be hate? Should it be vitriol? No. Calmly watch what's going on. Fact check everything. If President Trump says something that you don't think is true or that is too good to be true, fact check it. Don't just sit back and swallow it hook, line, and sinker. All right? You can enjoy his policies, you can enjoy his presidency, but fact check everything because it's healthy to do. It's healthy so that you don't get hypnotized into thinking that someone is always right. Look, I'm not always right. Sometimes I get it wrong. There was one time I was having a conversation with my wife. I made a statement that I heard someone say, and she stood right in front of me and fact-checked me with ChatGPT. And I was glad she did because it reminded me that I should be careful about the facts that I repeat. I need to fact-check them before I begin to repeat them to someone else. It's a good way to live, don't you think? Right, so let's listen to President Trump because this is running long. The Democrats have spoken for 1 minute and 38 seconds. And if we attempted to fact check this entire video, we would be here all day, literally all day, because we have a statement being made on why Americans aren't going to be receiving their SNAP benefits. And she spends 1 minute, lies within the first 1 minute, and then within the second minute begins to smear President Trump. No answers yet. So for me, that's already a loss. They front load outrage and then they end up telling you nothing. And there are a bunch of other Democrats lined up to repeat the same cycle. They front load outrage and then they just don't tell you anything that would make sense about why over 42 million recipients of these benefits would potentially run out of money in the days to come. Right, so let's watch President Trump on Air Force One. Okay, so President Trump, let's see. This is a report, but let's just go straight to President Trump's speech because usually there's a lot of explanation. I think we've gone through those explanations. Let's see. All right, so let's listen to the breakdown. Just to be fair, let's listen to the breakdown.
Another weekend into the government shutdown with no end in sight, President Donald Trump addressing the possible food fallout benefits that could be coming for families across the country. Now, if lawmakers do not reach a deal to fund the government, SNAP cards may not get refilled on November 1st. Yesterday, the USDA confirmed it will not tap into its contingency fund to cover benefits for next month. Nearly 1.5 million Georgians are on this program. The president spoke to reporters on his way to Malaysia, saying Democrats are to blame.
Some other people talk, I'll have a comment on that later, but the Democrats are stopping it. All they have to do is agree to let's go and we're ready. But then we voted for it many times. All we need is 5 Democrats. The Republicans vote. We'll see what happens. But really, this is purely Democrat. They're doing some really bad things. I think they're lost souls. You know that is soul. They are lost souls.
And we asked the governor's office about releasing the emergency fund.
All right, so President Trump again saying, look, this is all the Democrats' fault. I will say, well, it's still politics. There's a political edge to it. There are things that he could say like, okay, we have this amount in contingencies, but we can't. Like, I would really prefer some of the things we're fact checking to come out of these gaggles that President Trump is having. However, I also understand that he doesn't know everything. He could say something on Air Force One, and then when he gets fact checked, he gets jumped on if he's wrong. For example, the Democrats say they prepared a speech to claim that these benefits would last for, the contingencies would last for years. We fact-checked them and found out, no, it will only last for a few days. So I think there's an element to him being careful and not saying things that eventually get fact-checked, or being wrong. But then again, he should have these facts ready to go. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the chat or in the comments.
Subscribe.
Thanks for watching, liking, and sharing this video. Please subscribe, leave a super thank, and join my membership to keep me doing this. A huge thank you to my supporters listed on the screen. Thank you for your donations and membership.
Thanks for watching.